The Warriors have had a ton of success since drafting star guard Steph Curry 7th overall in 2009. If you ask his dad, former NBA player Del Curry, the Steph and Golden State pairing almost didn't happen. Del Curry revealed that he wanted his son to drop to the Knicks in the 2009 draft. He told the Heat Check podcast, "So draft day, we're in New York. I get a call from former Warriors coach Don Nelson. He says, Del, you got a problem if we select Steph at number 7? I said, yes, I do. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we want him in New York. We talked for 5 or 10 minutes. He's like, well, if he's there, we're going to take him anyway. And the rest is history. Oh, Stephen A. That must be tough for you to hear that.
Okay.
Here's what I want to know. Do you think that Steph would have had the same success if he was drafted by New York?
First of all, this very subject pains me. As exhausted as I am, the last thing I needed added to my life today was depression. Because obviously, I don't give a damn how much his father wanted him in New York. He didn't want him in New York worse than I did. And the New York Knicks ended up getting Jordan Hill with the next pick. I know you haven't heard of him, Molly. Neither have most people. No disrespect to Jordan Hill, but he hasn't had that illustrious of a career, bottom line. And it just reminds me of the opportunities that the New York Knicks have missed out on. They had the 8th pick. He was picked 7th. They had the 8th pick in 2017, by the way, where I begged Eminem, I begged the New York Knicks to take Donovan Mitchell, and that damn Phil Jackson showed why he should never be allowed in the state of New York again, because he drafted Frank Ntilikina instead of Donovan Mitchell. I was begging them to get him Donovan Mitchell, okay? And the New York Knicks, they end up getting the 3rd pick in the draft. Obviously, it was the draft that Zion Williamson and Ja Morant went 1 and 2. So this is the bane of my existence, the bad luck that is the New York Knicks, which is why I have to say this. Steph Curry would not have had the career that he has had if he were in New York City for one reason and one reason only. James Dolan is no Joe Lacob, period. James Dolan, I know that we look at him this year, and I applaud him, Eminem. I want to put Eminem up on the screen because I want to be nice. I applaud James Dolan. This is a rarity because he don't get it, but I'm going to give it to him. First of all, James Dolan is wonderful to a lot of African-American employees that he has had over the years, and the things that they say he has done for his staff and people work for him and stuff, there's no question. He deserves credit for that. But I'm going to say this. Because he spent so much time paying attention to headlines and to outside noise instead of leaving basketball people to run basketball people, it wasn't until recently, Eminem, that James Dolan has taken on a new leaf in some people's eyes. Prior to this, he was just a bad apple in the organization, and he's the head of the snake, as they say. And I think he would have gotten in the way of the progress of a Steph Curry prematurely, and it wouldn't have gotten to this point.
So so ultimately, we sort of agree on the trajectories being different. I think when we look at what Steph has done in the league, I think folks sometimes forget about the ankle injuries and the health early in his career. But I also think 2011 was as pivotal. I mean, I don't want to get too hyperbolic here, but I think 2011's draft, when the Warriors take Klay Thompson, is obviously synced to what Steph goes on to do, right? And so I just think, as great as Steph is as the centerpiece, what happened in Golden State, those pieces, the way they sort of revolutionized the way basketball was being played at that time when they went on that dynastic run, in terms of bringing in this idea of small ball, which was counterintuitive to what we were doing in the league at that point. There were so many things that had to come to fruition just so in Golden State. Everybody knows Steph is at the center of it, but I do think we're talking about very different paths if he was a New York Knick originally, because of all the pieces that fell into place in such a beautiful way in Golden State.
Yeah, here's the silver lining. He's got a ton of chips. He's had an epic career, and the Knicks, they're coming. They had an epic playoff, an epic postseason run, and they weren't even healthy. So everybody wins.
We haven't won yet.
Monica, Stephen A., we're all a little tired today. Be patient. Look at the Celtics, right? Look at this team. How many times did they knock? This group just got together. Take it down a notch. Relax. Give it time. No microwave society, okay?
I'm talking 1973.
Okay, well, I'm talking about this new iteration. Let's stay focused. Present moment.
Typical non-Knick fan.
Monica,
That's what
love
you
you
would say a
long
non-Knick
time.
fan would say.
Molly,
Girl, your
yes.
summer almost started.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA over here,